Here at the Fishing DVD, we demand the best gear available to bring you the finest footage we can possibly capture, and that extends to our electronics too. Sounders and GPS are critical in much of our fishing, especially when visiting new waters. When it comes to marine electronics, we rely exclusively on Lowrance.
Yeah, it's not a big fish head, but yeah, we better, mate, just in case. It's an estuary cod head.
Old spot estuarine cod. Can you bring him around this side, Barb?
They're a good lure. They're a really good barrel lure, those river rats heads.
That is a nice cod.
Thanks, mate.
It's alright. I'll probably net a lot more of your fish today, knowing my luck with you.
One thing about the estuary cod, Ed, when they take a lure, they really fall off, don't they?
Yeah, they eat it well and proper.
Such a common fish too on the east coast of Queensland, and such an enthusiastic lure taker. These things have saved many a fishing trip. They can be a pest within the small fish around, but we'll let that fella go to grow much bigger.
Beautiful.
Hopefully he might see a few of his bigger cousins around. This, as you've just seen on the sounder, that's the estuary cod we just released, and that's the track of him racing straight back down to the bottom. We can't see him on the bottom now because the bait's drifted off him, the transducer cane has drifted off the fish, but that's definitely the fish heading straight back towards the bottom, which is pretty good. Let's go catch another one.
The recent introduction of broadband technology by Lowrance has greatly improved many areas of sonar performance and definition, as Lowrance's own Lance Smith explains.
That's probably one of the most amazing things about it is at high speed. A lot of boaters that have never been able to see detail while underway or given us reviews of the crisp kind of detail they get of bottom and reefs and balls of bait and things while, 18, 20, 30 knots, at a good troll, way past a good troll speed, at a good wide open speed for blue water or, just average speeds for freshwater as well, getting really good results with, just crisp returns, good separation. And before, a lot of people were happy just to hold bottom at that type of speed. And now to be able to see detail when you're running wide open is really nice. I fished the Barrett Classic up on the Daly River and took some fantastic screenshots with this broadband. And it's actually really tough to get good screenshots in both brackish, silty water and also shallow water, and the Daly's both. It's very tidal. So it's constantly silt, very dirty in a lot of places, and it's very shallow when the tide's down. So I was able to capture some screenshots that I can show people to show you just what the broadband can give you with that wide cone angle in the shallow water. And you can actually see on this screenshot, you can see the yellow on the bottom of the return. So you can see that that's a pretty hard bottom, and you get this good dip. But you can start to see here as well how the bottom actually has texture. With broadband, it no longer looks like just a flat line. It actually starts to give texture, and you can see these active barra moving through this hump and a bit of a thermocline as it comes through. This is a JPEG that I took, and this is an 83 kilohertz. You can see on the bottom of the screen how the unit will list what frequency it's in. So I turned the machine on to 83 kilohertz because I'm in 20 foot of water, as you can see, about 19.8 feet. So that 83 kilohertz beam gives me a much wider view of bottom. So I'm able to pick up these fish, and you can see actually I've got a couple active barra. It looks like you can see the tip of another barra there. There's a couple stacked on top of one another, sitting right on top of what I'd imagine would be a rock hump here. And this is a bit of a rock bottom, or a very hard bottom at the least, because you can see all the yellow as it comes through. And then if you notice, and this is a classic illustration of what cone angle can do for you, and you can see these fish arches that aren't very pronounced in the background. And those fish may be as large as these obvious fish arches, but the difference is they're very far from our transducer cone. So you can see by widening that cone, if I didn't have a very wide cone, I'd never see that those extra fish were there. And I may not see any of these fish if I had a really narrow cone. So this explains It's a classic shot of why it's so important to have such a wide cone in shallow water. You want to go as wide as you can. And just on the sensitivity and on the actual GPS side of the shot, you can see where we changed the trail color. So we can, this is actually the black trails where we made a drift earlier in the day, and we came back with a troll in red, and we just changed the color so we could see the difference between the time of day, and we actually set waypoints on different fish that we wanted to target. And I left the sensitivity up on this screenshot so you can see. I get a lot of questions on what's the best sensitivity to run. Broadband is really low. With broadband you need low sensitivity, so I just left that up there for you to take a look at. And it's 76%, which is giving me detail about what I'd say 90% used to do without broadband. You can actually see with this broadband how the bottom almost goes 3D. We can see we've got a lot of different shades of color around the bottom, how this is not just flat. In other words, it actually has some depth to it, and we're able to see this log snag. I'm sure this is what it is, a log jam that's been stuck on the daily, and there's actually fish inside of this, and it's really tough to separate fish from logs. Before, without broadband, I could make this troll, and I may see that snag, but I may not know that these fish are in it. So if I don't get a hit on the first pass, I think, okay, let's go down to the next spot. I know these fish are here. I can see them now separate from the snag, so I want to be able to troll that lure and feel that lure touch those snags. And if I don't get hit, I've either presented it in the wrong position, the wrong depth, maybe the wrong color or speed, but I have the confidence to turn back around and fish this again until I pull that fish, because I don't have to run and look for fish anymore. It's separated here for me. I can see that they're here, so I need to change my presentation until I pick them up. When we fish the daily, of course, it's full of crocodiles, and I grew up fishing around alligators and without broadband, and then broadband's so new I haven't had a chance to try it on alligators in the U.S. yet. So first chance I got to see a crocodile on one, I wanted to. So we pulled up to a croc on the bank, and the croc actually took off, swam beside the boat a bit, went down, and it swam underneath the boat. And this is the image that we ended up taking. And you can see it's pretty fantastic. It's, you know, you don't have to be much of a sonar interpreter to be able to tell what you're looking at here. And you've got heaps of fish around, but you can actually see the croc. This big arch is the croc. You can see how this would be the head end. These small tags you see coming off that arch or that croc body are actually the legs. You can see the beginning of the back legs here and where the tail comes on down. And it was pretty fantastic to be able to see this, because I've never seen this. I've fished all over Louisiana, Texas with gators all under the boat, and I never knew for sure that it was a gator because it just didn't give me the crisp detail that I got from the broadband. But to be able to see that, wow, not only is this a croc, but I can tell you the head from the tail and the legs, which is target separation that it's unparalleled in sonar.
Installation of the broadband system to current generation Lowrance sounders is easy and straightforward, resulting in an immediate quantum improvement in on-screen definition. And that translates into better fishing results.
Any minute now, Ed.
Come up there.
Using Lowrance Broadband, we're now able to consistently target individual fish holding close to structure, and we're seeing and identifying things we've never seen before. It's nothing short of a revelation, and it's definitely catching us more fish, particularly in new waters and more demanding situations.
Woohoo! Nice fish! Oh,
Yeah,
nice barra. Bargy, thank you. Shake you right up a little bit. Just put on. You didn't do anything, did you? Oh, what a fish! I'm happy
well
with
done,
that.
Ed.
I am happy with that.
91cm salty barra.
That'd be
To a nicer bloke. Well, yeah, that was a good barra. Shady one. That was a really good barra. You just caught off that. We trolled him up off that rocky headland on that 20-pass lure. These big saltwater barra do come out and sit around these rocky headlands in pure salt water, and much better barra if you're going to eat one than a barramundi out of the creek.
Yep.
Well done, mate.
Beautiful. Happy with that.
Go catch
You said
another.
they were there. That sounder shot. You
Yeah.
pick them again.
To find out more, check out the Lowrance website.